us. Talk to us a little bit about, there's certainly quite a few challenges here, particularly emanating after that scandal. Describe to me sort of what are the biggest ones that you're tackling right now? How are you going to turn this ship around?
Hello, and thanks for having me on the show today, and thanks for the question. Yeah, I think, as you said, I've been in the company now since November. That was following, obviously, the Nissan capital share purchase of Mitsubishi, and also Mitsubishi announced then around about a 270 billion loss for the year.
Right.
Half year was around about 30 billion yen. So obviously the first priority was really to get back on financial track, which we believe I've done. I'll come back to that. But obviously the challenges following the fuel economy scandal is something that we've been working diligently on. Obviously we're very disappointed as a company. So the reformation, if you like, of our engineering practices is being led by Yamashita-san. It's been overseen by the executive committee and in fact the board, and we keep a close eye on that, and together in discussion with the authorities here in Japan. So we're covering that. In addition, I think we're looking at the governance of the company.
Right.
We've introduced a very thorough delegation of authority to make sure that the understanding of what people can do, what they're authorised to do, and the extent they're authorised to do is clearly controlled, and that's being, if you like, monitored by Masuko, our CEO.
Yeah.
And I guess as COO, I'm responsible for turning around the financial aspect of the company. As I said, the half-year result was a 30 billion yen loss. We'd forecasted to 27 billion loss for the year.
Right.
And we put together a detailed plan for the second half, and we recovered that beyond what we expected, and we actually made a 5 billion yen profit for the year, which I think is very good for us and signifies our initial turnaround.
Right, and certainly, it's the turnaround mode, and now you're looking, as you mentioned, into recovery and then growth after that, Trevor. I want to talk a little bit about the business first, and particularly in Japan. For instance, the recovery in mini car sales, which I know are a big part for Mitsubishi Motors. I mean, what are your projections on being able to, on the targets for that recovery?
Well, I think we've already started to see some recovery. So if you go back to 2015, prior to the fuel economy issue that we had, around about 60% of our sales were in the mini car segment. After the fuel economy issue, our overall sales dropped, and obviously, in fact, we stopped selling mini cars for a few months. So we took a hit on that in 2016. But as we go into 2017, we're starting to see recovery levels towards the 2015 levels. So I believe that we still have some work to do, but we're getting back on track, both with the mini cars and overall the registered vehicles here in Japan.
Part of that recovery, of course, will also be making tough decisions, such as discontinuing some models. And you guys have even mentioned the Pajero SUV. When will you make that decision? Is that model expected to go?
We're going to make our decisions in terms of our model plan on the announcement of our midterm plan, which we'll announce in autumn this year. But what we've got to do is we recognise that we're a relatively small company within the industry. We're about 1 million units. However, we have ambitions to grow to about 1.25 million units in the medium term by 2019. So what we're doing is we're looking at obviously the market trends, we're looking at the products we have, and we're looking at the markets where we're strong and also where we have opportunities. So we'll be able to explain all that as we get towards the autumn. But just a couple of things to bear in mind is that with the market trends at the moment are heavily skewed really towards SUVs, and this is where our strength is. We're renowned for toughness, durability and reliability, and we're also renowned, as you mentioned, the Pajero, which is very famous in terms of this type of product. So we're going to make sure that we're pretty focused in terms of what our heritage is, but also the way the market trends are going forward.
And the market trends, it seems to be that the new mini electric vehicles are in vogue right now. What are your plans? We are hearing that you could get a mini electric car for 2020. What's the latest on that project?
Well, we'll be in the processes of renewing our mini cars here in Japan. The technology that goes in them, we're still working on, and obviously we would announce that a little bit nearer the time.
Trevor, I want to ask you a little bit about Nissan's involvement. What kind of commitments are you getting from Carlos Ghosn, as you're putting this turnaround plan together and executing on it? Give me a sense of Nissan's role in here.
Okay, well, I think those people that know Carlos Ghosn, they'll know that he doesn't do half measures. So when he's in, he's in, and he's in with Mitsubishi and as with the rest of the alliance. So he's our chairman of the board.
Right.
He reviews our governance, our recovery, and our performance. But I think, moreover, he's extremely focused on making sure that the alliance works. So now Mitsubishi is part of the Renault-Nissan alliance, and obviously we need to make sure that we're leveraging the benefits that that alliance brings, but also contributing to the alliance. And obviously Mr. Ghosn is keeping very, very tight supervision on the way that's going. So I think if you look financially, within 2016 results, 3 billion yen was a contribution from the alliance. We're expecting 25 billion yen contribution from the alliance within this year. So they are the short-term gains in terms of supply chain costs, purchasing, bought-out parts costs, etc. Where we'll see the long-term is where we start to converge on platforms, technologies, modules, etc. And that's where the charge is coming, really.